Hi. Hello once again, everybody. Welcome to part 2 of episode 1064. And you're beautiful, fast Friday, May the 19th, 2022. Sorry for not being here yesterday, but I went to sleep and I woke up and I slept the wrong way. Woke up with a headache and I just could not see straight. And I woke up a little later than what I wanted to, and I didn't have enough time to even do my recording before it got light. So that's the reason why I called out yesterday and said there's not going to be no videos for Thursday. But here I am today. So I'm back. I did the same thing. I went to sleep, but I woke up. I woke up and I had to lay there and wake up. And then I had to lay there and I had to put some nose spray in my nose to open my nose up. It was one side was just locked solid. So I had to lay there and let it open up, and then one thing led to another. I got out here and started recording. So sorry for that long. The first video being longer than what I could usually do 2 videos in that time. So, but I usually like to have about 10-minute video. I hate to go over 12 minutes, but to not go at least 15 at the most, if I can get away with some of the rambling. But you know that. But this is part 2 of episode 1064. And we're going to be discussing about You Are Heard. Y-O-U. We're going to be heard. From Karen Huang, and it's derived from Psalm 116, 1-7. So if you're excited about this one, hope you enjoy the video. Don't forget to leave a like. Remember the like challenge. I forgot to say this part, but you know the like. Go back to the first video for explanation. But if I forgot to say this about the like challenge. If it's not met by episode 1100, which is another 45 days, another 45 episodes. If it's not met by then, it will be canceled, and I don't want to cancel it. So please help me out. Birthdays, anniversaries, and prayer requests in the comment section below. And what do you think, before we get going, what do you think you are heard means? Is that Jesus hears you when you call or when you cry out? Does he hear us when we cry out? Is that what we're talking about? You are heard? Does he hear does he hear the prayers of his children? Does he hear the heartfelt prayers that we pour out to him? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts. It's not actually an answer. Just give me your thoughts on that title. So, but Karen writes, in the book Physics, Charles Rigborg, Riborg, Mann, M-A-N-N, and George Ransom, Twiss, T-W-I-S-S, ask, when a tree falls in a lonely forest and no animal is nearby to hear it, does it make a sound? Well, yes, it does. If nobody's around when a tree falls, it still makes a sound. Because when that tree falls, it makes a cracking noise of that wood breaking. And then it makes the sound of the branches sliding through the other trees. And then it makes a sound when it lands on the ground. Boom. Even though nobody hears it, it still makes a sound, if you think about it. Because if you've heard of a tree falling, it makes that same noise wherever it falls. That wood's gonna crack, 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 crack. And then the tree limbs are gonna slide through the other trees, and then when it hits the ground, it's gonna go woo. A little bass sound, boof. But so over the years, the question has prompted philosophical and scientific discussions about sound, perception, and existence. A definitive answer, however, has yet to emerge. And I just answered it for you. Duh. So one night, while feeling lonely and sad about a problem I hadn't shared with anyone, I recalled the question, when no one hears my cry for help, I thought, does God hear? Yes, he does. I believe he does. He hears everybody. May not be an immediate hear, but that thoughtful cry out for help will get to him eventually. Not if it's not immediately, he does hear it after, because he's got so many prayers and stuff coming through that he has to filter it. And then when he finally filters through all the prayers and everything, then he finally hears your thing. But he does hear. I'm honest to God truth. He does hear you. So facing the threat of death and overcome by distress, the writer of Psalm 116 may have felt abandoned. So he called out to God, knowing he was listening and would help him. He heard my voice, the psalmist wrote. He heard my cry for mercy. He turned his ear to me, verses 1 and 2. When no one knows our pain, God knows. When no one hears our cry, God hears. He may not hear it immediately, but once it's filtered through what's ahead of it, then he hears it. Trust me, it's like a phone line. As soon as one call gets through, the next one or like say we called something and we get put on hold. Once that one in front of us gets done with, then our call is taken. So, but after all those prayers and cries for help in front of us get heard, then ours gets heard. So it's like a call waiting in some ways. Our cry for help gets put on hold, but then once it comes up our turn for our cry to be heard, he hears it. So knowing that God will show us his love and protection, verse 5 and 6, we can be at rest in difficult times, verse 7. So the Hebrew word translated rest, R-E-S-T, manoach, M-A-N-O-A-K-H. It describes a place of quiet and safety. So we can be at peace, strengthened by the assurance of God's presence and help. So the question posed by Man and Twist led to numerous answers. But the answer to that question, does God hear, is simply what I just said. Yes, he hears us. May not be immediate. He may not hear us immediately, but he does hear us eventually. He's like we're on call waiting. Once he filters out everybody in front of us, then he hears what we have to say. Then he hears that crying. Then he goes about it, treating it the way he should, that he knows it needs to be done. So what do you do when you're feeling alone or abandoned? And what will you ask God, who hears your every cry? What will you ask God, who hears your every cry and cares for you? Put your responses to those in the comments by putting Q1 or Q2. And sometimes it doesn't necessarily have to be something from your response. It could be somebody be sitting next to you and you're trying to come up with something and they come up with something. Use that. It's just a response to something that somebody can do in that situation. So ponder those questions by saying, Father, thank you for always hearing the cries of my heart, because your help and presence are my rest. Amen. So Bible reading today, we missed reading 1 Chronicles chapters 4 through 6 and the first part of John 6, 1 through 21 yesterday. But we're moving on with 1 Chronicles 7, 8, and 9, and then the rest. Let me check, make sure. Nope. The next part of John chapter 6, verses 22 through 44. It broke it up. They broke it up in 3 days, so we missed the first part. Now this is the second part, and tomorrow will be the last part of chapter 6. Must be a longer chapter. But coming up tomorrow, in your only other video, your second and only other video tomorrow, part 2 of episode 1065, we will learn how to keep in touch. From John Blaze, B-L-A-S-E, derived from Matthew 6, 5 through 9. So stay tuned for that. I'll get to that later tonight, but you'll see that tomorrow about 5:45. That'll be the only other video of the day. So I'll try to get to, if I do tomorrow's, I'll try to get to those and then get Sunday's videos done as well. So I try to get up Sunday and go to church. So, but with that said, I love you, appreciate you, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it. Keep on keeping on and trusting God, and He'll keep you safe in all you say and do in 2023 and beyond. And until later, peace out, everybody. So long, farewell. Come back later at 7. Instead of talking about canceled, as we missed yesterday, we will be talking about 5:43, I'm hungry. Sounds like a good one. Beginning with Matthew 5, verse 6, which we'll be reading in the recommended reading, Matthew 5, 1 through 12. Our turning point will be from Charles Swindoll. And then instead of starting on the book of Ezra, which we should have yesterday, 1 through 4, we're going on with Ezra 5, 6, and 7. So if you want to read the whole book of Ezra from 1 to 7 before tonight's video, then feel free to do that if you're reading that. But if you're already caught up, then that's good. So, but stay tuned for that. I'll get to that in just a few minutes. But you'll see that later after 7. So with that said, God bless everyone. God bless America in 2023. And I'll see you later. So until later, me and Baby Yoda, we out until then. So have a great rest of your beautiful fast Friday afternoon, and we'll see you later after 7. And we'll find out why I'm hungry. So hope to see you then. So until then, goodbye.